first, I guess, the courage to dream was, for me, from a very young age. I was 8 years old. My parents asked me, what do you want to do with your life when you grow up? And I instinctively just said, I want to change the world. I don't know why I said that, but it was just something that came out of me. My parents, you know, with me being Asian and all, they just weren't that happy because they thought I was going to say I'm going to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an accountant. Didn't say any of those things. But yeah, for me, I really, from a young age, knew that I was meant to be doing something more with my life, but I really didn't know what that was. I actually went over to Magnolia Bakery when I was 21, so I was studying information systems at the time, business information systems. I chose IT as a pathway or a career path because for me, I looked at my uncle as a great role model. He got to travel 6 months of the year and get paid lots of money the other 6 months of the year when he was working, so I thought that would be an awesome job. So that's why I chose IT, but I love technology. But it was when I was 21, I went over to New York, went to the Magnolia Bakery, had a bite of a cupcake, and that was when I became really obsessed with cupcakes. I can't understand like why that happened, but I just remember going into work, and I was an IT consultant, so I would be travelling a lot, and so I would actually bake cupcakes all the time and bring them into work on Fridays. I'd be really bored, I guess, but I just loved the feeling of bringing cupcakes into work and seeing people's faces light up. So I guess the courage to dream was, for me, I had this big dream of opening up my own cupcake bakery. So that was back in 2009. And the courage to try. So courage to try was when I started baking cupcakes, had no idea, didn't go to any kind of patisserie school or anything like that. For me, I just learnt on the go. I watched YouTube clips, and collected a lot of cookbooks and just tried lots of different things. So this is my first batch of cupcakes I ever baked. Yes, they're quite horrible. But I was ecstatic when I baked these. These were from scratch, so they weren't from a packet mix. So I was, quite chuffed when I brought them into work and everyone loved them. And that kind of sparked my love and passion for baking. And this is when I started baking cupcakes and selling them at the markets. So in 2009, May 2009, I went into work one day and was called into a meeting. I lost my job, got made redundant, and of course, the first week was horrible because I just had no idea what I was going to do. I thought it was the end of the world. But about a week afterwards, I thought, this is the universe telling me something. I'm meant to be doing something more with my life because I hated work. I hated going into work, and I didn't feel like that was my life's purpose, where I would be sitting behind a desk and looking at a screen and waiting for Friday to roll around and only live for 2 days of the week. So I took that opportunity and I thought, you know what, I'm going to start baking cupcakes at home, and within I'll try it for 6 months. If it doesn't work out, I can always go back into the corporate world. But this was probably 3 or 4 months into starting my business from home, and it actually got so busy. Within the 6-month mark, I was making more money baking cupcakes a few days a week than I was in my corporate job. So I knew then it was like something that I was meant to be doing with my life. So the courage to create. I've got 2 stories to talk about here, and the first one being that, with Cupcake Central, when I started that, and I started that with my business partner, who's also my ex-boyfriend, probably a story for another day, but we built it to 5 stores, there's 6 stores now, and I've actually recently exited, so that's been 3 months now. And I guess with a cookbook, I kind of had this dream that I wanted a cookbook because I knew that we only had stores in Melbourne and there was so many people all across Australia and the world that, might like cupcakes. And so I really wanted to create a cookbook. But I decided the year that Borders went into administration, it was really tough to get a book deal. I had reached out to so many publishers. There was one publisher that kind of said, yes, we'd love to publish your cookbook, but let me just take it to the board and then we'll come back to you and we'll let you know what happens. And I was so hopeful. But of course they came back and they said, no, we don't think you have a big enough presence. You're only based out in Melbourne. Sorry, we're not going to go ahead with it. I was gutted because I actually told everybody that we were releasing cookbook. So I had no way out, and I figured it out how to publish it ourselves. And it was a really grueling experience, but I didn't really have the funds to do it. Like, self-publishing a book is really expensive. But I decided to do pre-orders, so I sent it out to our mailing list. And the first 18 hours, we sold, I think, a couple of hundred cookbooks, which covered the manufacturing of these cookbooks, which was like amazing. So I guess, for me, it was like being able to create and really visualizing something that I never thought I could do. Oh, 1 minute, that was quick, sorry. So and then we've, created 5 stores, which I only had the dream just to open one, but it kind of like grew and run the world. So that was another dream of mine, like bringing all these women together and sharing stories. And now we've run 12 of them. Dale's spoken at our event too, which is awesome. I'm going to go very quickly now because I literally have 30 seconds. But courage to seek. One of my favourite quotes is, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I'm always looking to meet people that are incredibly inspiring and going out there and doing great things. My co-founders of League of Extraordinary Women, they all have their own businesses. Funnily enough, they've all sold out of their businesses too, so there's kind of a common pattern there, and starting something new. And then I'm also part of Entrepreneurs Organisation. And then this is my last slide. It's courage to grow. So 5 years ago, I went over to Cambodia, and I think it was just this whole thing where, in terms of success, I really wanted, I felt like success didn't really mean what I thought it meant. And so I went over to Cambodia and, went to this orphanage, and it was just incredible to see how these kids have nothing could be so happy. And that kind of sparked me on my own spiritual journey, and now I'm running the world with League of Extraordinary Women. So, thank you.